Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in the kitchen, and I'd like to share with you my secret to eliminating one more decision each morning. As I go through my busy day, I need to get things done and get going quickly in the morning. So this is a tool that I've used for a couple of years now, and it just helps me pick out my wardrobe quickly and move on to the next thing. And in addition, it also helps me just keep a whole week's worth of clothing and wardrobe selected so that I am sort of always planning ahead without really feeling like I'm planning ahead. So let me share my secret with you. And if you've been following me for a while and you've seen any of my bullet journaling videos, then you have seen this book. It is this lovely little book. It's called Colors and Numbers by Louise L. Hay. And if you're not familiar with Louise Hay, she's written quite a few books. She's most known for her book, You Can Heal Your Life, which is a wonderful book too. So if you've heard of her but haven't seen this little book, stay tuned because we're going to go through it and I will show you what it's all about. Okay, so first off, I am here in our master closet, and it's nothing fancy, nothing Pinterest worthy, but I just wanted to show you, first of all, that I have eliminated the whole second row of clothing. So down there is, in the very far back, that's just a drying rack that I keep for sweaters and delicates that need to air dry. So that just tucks back in our closet. Then I have this, this bag here is the one I use to put items I'm decluttering out of the closet. So just as I come across something, if I know I don't need it anymore, then I will put it in that bag. This is just my dance bag with my shoes for my weekly tap and jazz / ballet class. This bag is some extra dance supplies. Sometimes I rotate out shoes and different clothing items. And then I just have one extra bag that hangs that's kind of like a weekend overnight bag for the occasional time that we travel and do stuff like that. So up here now, these are all of my clothing items except for my jeans, which are in a drawer, and my sort of loungewear, yoga pants, that kind of thing, and of course my undergarments. So those things are kept folded KonMari style in my dresser, but this is where I keep all of my basically hanging tops and jackets and sweaters and dresses. And the only complaint I have about our little closet is, of course, that I have nowhere for my long dresses to hang because this shelf goes all the way across. So someday that'll be a project. But in the meantime, this is the point I was coming in here to show you. So I keep a week's worth of clothing basically selected. So here, today is Tuesday, so you can see there's Wednesday, Thursday. Whoops, I think this one I stole, so I need to get that one back out Friday. But I just go through the whole week. And what I do is each morning, like this morning I got up, I wore my, selected the shirt that was on the Tuesday hanger. And these are just little cards that I laminated. I just printed them off on my computer. I think I used a Word document or something. Or it might have even been a free printable from Avery. And then I laminated them and punched the little hole on top. But so then I have a calendar that I keep over here. And I just go through and choose the next week's, like the next Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, so I looked ahead to see, well, next week Tuesday is a 4-day for me. So that means it's a green shirt. So I selected my green shirt for the day and put my little card on there, and then it goes at the back of my stack. So I will show you how I got to the color choices in just a second, but I wanted to show you how I incorporate it into my closet and my planning process. And like I said, it doesn't feel like I'm doing much because each morning I just take off my, shirt that I'm going to wear and then find one that matches the appropriate color for the next week, put the little tag on and stick it in the back, and I'm done. But I'm actually planning out a week ahead. So now let's take a look at the book. One other thing that I forgot to mention is I will put a link in the description box down below with of where you can purchase the book from Louise Hay. So I think it's on Amazon. I'm not sure if that's where I got it. I've had it for over 10 years, so I can't remember where I purchased it. But I will do my best to find a link to the book so that if you want to check it out and buy your own copy, you can. And if not, maybe check out your local library. You may be able to find it there or at a used bookstore. Okay, so here is the book. Again, it's called Colors and Numbers by Louise L. Hay. And essentially this is using numerology to tell you a little bit more about your year, your month, your day, depending on how far you go into it. And of course I can't go through the whole book with you, but I'll just show you at a glance. This is Louise's interpretation of numerology. So I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what I understand, it's kind of universal as far as the understandings of which color correspond to which number and the general concept that corresponds to it. And of course, this is kind of her wording of it and her interpretation of it. So then I'll show you a little bit about how you get to some of that. Let me flip to where we're at here. So, and you know, some of this is, you can find it on the internet everywhere, but I just like how she explains it. The first little part, she really goes into more about how you can use it in your life, how it's helped her. And the only two tools that you would need are, you know, a pen and paper. If you want to use a calculator, you can. But she shows you here how to find the universal year. And the universal year is just the current year, and you add up the numbers. So for instance, this is 2019. So if you add up the 2 plus the 0 plus the 1 plus the 9, that equals 12. And anytime you get a double number, you just keep reducing down. So then 1 plus 2 equals 3. So 2019 is a 3 universal year. And then you would add that into the personal year. So to make your personal year, you're going to take, for me, I did it where you take your universal year, so the 3, and you add it to your birth month and your birthday. So when I did that, I got 29, and then you again reduce it down. So 2 plus 9 equals an 11, 2 year for me. So right off the bat, that's one place that you can, you know, find just some insights into the year. So let me see here, personal year, 11-2. And I have this in my bullet journal as well. So an 11-2 year for me means that I'll be focusing on intuition, and this kind of goes through and tells you more about it, the colors and the precious metals that would correspond to it. And then my affirmation is I listen to the inner voice of wisdom. So I just refer back to this periodically. It's not something I look at every day, but it's been interesting since I've been using this system for I think about 3 years now, and really incorporating it into my planning, so I have some documentation of it and just paying attention to it more. I can certainly see how the last couple of years have each corresponded to whatever number they fell on. Of course not with everything, but you can just sort of feel that trend in the year when you look back. Okay, so then to get your personal month, you would take your personal year and add it to the current month. So this is March, which is a 3. So I'm going to add, and when you get this 11-2, that's kind of a special number. So of course 1 plus 1 equals 2, so that's how it reduces down, but 11 is special because it's double 1. So anyway, so I took 2 plus 3, and that equals 5. So for me, March is a 5 month. And she says in here you can use the personal years to correspond to the months as well. So for me, the color is blue, and the turquoise and aquamarine gems, and then the keyword is change. And if you saw my bullet journaling video and my planning for March, then you know I incorporated that into my planning. So that's another way that I use the color, more so because it just reminds me that's what the focus is for the month. And it's been really interesting. So this month, I had a grandparent pass away, which was sad. She was 92. My grandmother passed away a week or so ago. And, you know, we've all gone through the grieving process and still will with that. But she had lived a long, full life. and she had been sick for a long time. So anyway, that, definitely is an unexpected thing that I didn't know was going to happen this month. It just seems like there's been several things. I've had some business changes and updates. I've had, can't think of any other good examples, but I remember commenting to someone last week that it just seems like this month everything's sort of turned on its head. As soon as I kind of have a plan or think I know what's going to be happening, then something different will happen. We've had some household repairs that came up unexpectedly. We've had different changes, just all kinds of things. And of course, every month you have changes, but I do remember just last week kind of thinking to myself, it's kind of hard to keep up with all this change. And that's when I thought, oh wait, this is a 5-month for me, and the keyword is change. So that sort of gave me an insight into it, and you just move on with your day. But I like this affirmation: I welcome change and expand my boundaries. So that's sort of a healthy way to approach the change versus, I could be mad that things are not going as I thought they would, or that, life is changing too much or whatever, but it's nice to look at it this way and just move forward and expand my boundaries, as it says. All right, and then break it down even further into the personal day. So today is Tuesday, the 19th of March. So if you take 19 plus my personal month, which like I said is a 5, that is 24. And then that reduces down, so 2 plus 4 equals 6. So then my personal day today, my personal day number is a 6. So when I chose my clothing for the day, I chose something that was indigo or navy blue, so I'm wearing my navy blue t-shirt. And, she talks about a little bit too, you could just go so far as wearing a pair of earrings that's the right color, or your undergarments that no one sees. It doesn't really matter how you express that color, but it's just a reminder of how that energy maybe will flow for the day. And for me, this is, I always find that these do fall into place. So a 6 day is about your home, and the affirmation is, my home is a peaceful haven. And it's so interesting because last night I finally went through, cleaned up my daughter's room and got that in order. And I remember going to bed and just thinking, tomorrow I can start the day fresh. The house is picked up and in order. And I knew that I had a lot of things that I wanted to work on at home today. And it just felt good to know that I wasn't having to clean up messes and pick up things. So today, I've been able to get to my list and just work on lots of different things that have to do with the home, and it feels good. When I got up this morning, I started off the day with kind of a clean slate where there weren't toys everywhere and trash and, just stuff. My daughter's room especially had just sort of been overrun with stuff. So we got a few toys cleaned out, we organized what was there, we picked up all the stuff that just needed to be thrown away and got rid of that, and we started out the day in a much better frame of mind. So hopefully that helps give you some insights. And like I mentioned, I use it for my planning as far as the color that I use in my bullet journal. So like I'm trying to use black, white, and pearl gray in the overall planning for the year. My notebooks are corresponding to that. Partly just because it kind of helps me differentiate year to year. So I'll have different notebook colors that correspond to each year. And like I mentioned too, then I use it in my wardrobe. So each day I have my personal day color that I reference, and that's how I choose my wardrobe. And it just seems to flow easily. And I have done this for several years now. So for a while, I was actually going through each day in my notebook, and I would write down this affirmation and the color and the number and just sort of remind myself of what a 6 day was all about. Now I pretty much have it memorized, not in detail, but I just sort of know a 6 day is about home, and 5 days about change. I just sort of have the colors. I know a 6 day is going to be navy, a 5 day is going to be sort of aquamarine or turquoise or teal. So since I have all that kind of memorized, I just jot down the number on the personal day, and that's enough to remind me as I kind of plan out my day and plan out my week. So hopefully that answered some questions. If you have more questions or things that I didn't answer and you wanted me to cover, please put them in the comment section down below. And let me know if you've ever heard of this system or tried using something like this. Like I said at the beginning, I think things like this are nice, at least for me, because I sometimes have a hard time making a decision. And just narrowing down the color choices and saying pick a blue shirt today. Well, I only have 3 blue shirts, so I just pick the one that sounds good for today or looks good for today. It's just one less decision to make and seems to make the process of, getting my day started go a little more smoothly. And it makes me feel a little more organized. It's a very simple little process that I've established, but it helps me feel like I've got things together. Even if the rest of my life is falling apart, I've at least got that going for me. So thanks again for joining me. And again, let me know if you have any questions or if you need me to explain something anymore. And I might do another video about a specific part of this. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.